Here's a map of the Northwest Territories. Like the rest of our country, the Northwest Territories has many things to offer. The Northwest Territories has a variety of tourist attractions and lots of natural beauty. The Northwest Territories is a massive piece of land that often gets overlooked because of its cold climate. Despite its cold climate, the Northwest Territories can be a great place to visit. There are a number of different flowers and animals throughout the Northwest Territories. Also, there are many different rock types. Lastly, the Northwest Territories has two geographical regions. One is mostly forestry, while the other is very rocky. I'll be looking at the physical features of the Northwest Territories. The Northwest Territories can be divided into two geographical regions. Those two regions are the taiga and the tundra. The taiga is mostly forestry and not as cold as the tundra. Some trees located in the taiga are pine, aspen, and birch trees. The tundra is a very cold and rocky region with little vegetation. The Northwest Territories also include the Mackenzie Mountains and the Mackenzie River, which dominate most of the land. The Mackenzie Mountains range from the Northwest Territories to Nunavut. The Mackenzie River is one of the longest rivers in the world, at 4,241 kilometers in length. Lastly, the Canadian Shield covers most of the eastern half of the territory. All of these landform regions make the Northwest Territories an interesting place to visit, even though it is very cold. As I mentioned earlier, the Northwest Territories has a very harsh climate. The territory can be divided into two major climate zones, the Arctic and the subarctic. The subarctic zone is typically warmer than the Arctic zone, with an average temperature of minus 23 degrees Celsius in January and 21 degrees Celsius in July. The Arctic zone is much colder, with average temperatures of minus 33 degrees Celsius in January and 10 degrees in June. The temperature range in the subarctic zone is 44 degrees, and in the Arctic zone it is 43 degrees. This means the Northwest Territories has a continental climate. Both of these zones have very long and cold winters and short summers. Both zones also get plenty of snow in the winter and some rain during the summer. These cold climates in the winter make it hard for vegetation to grow. The Northwest Territories has lots of different types of vegetation and animals. In the summer, many flowers grow, including purple mountain saxifrage and fireweed. In the winter, not much vegetation can grow because of the cold climate and snow. Also, in the tundra region, very little vegetation grows because it is extremely rocky. Almost all the vegetation in the Northwest Territories is in the taiga region. Some animals that live in the Northwest Territories include bears, deer, foxes, walruses, and seals. Along with all the wildlife, there are also many natural resources. The Northwest Territories' economy thrives off their natural resources. The main resource is forestry. Since there are so many trees in the Northwest Territories, many wood products can be made. Fish and natural gas are also amongst their main resources. Lastly, mining helps the economy greatly, as many diamonds and gold are found in the Northwest Territories. The harsh climate and rocky region make it hard for farming to contribute to their economy. Farms that do exist are very small in comparison to the ones in southern provinces. Most of the Northwest Territories is filled with rocks. These rocks are mostly sedimentary and metamorphic. Some of these rocks can be seen at national parks in the Northwest Territories. Tourism has been increasing greatly in the Northwest Territories for the past few years. Some of the reasons people visit the Northwest Territories is to see its natural beauty and to visit their national parks. There are 4 national parks in the Northwest Territories. These include the Nahanni Park Reserve, the Wood Buffalo Park, the Alavik Park, and lastly, the Tukit Nogat National Park. Each one of these parks offers different focal points, like forestry, animals, and rock types. These attract many people to the Northwest Territories. Although the Northwest Territories has very cold winters, it can be an interesting place to travel to during the summer. The territory has many amazing forests and lots of wildlife. The Mackenzie Mountains and other parts of the territory are very scenic. Also, there are many great spots to fish for those who love fishing. Lastly, the national parks offer a unique experience. I think during the next few years, many people will travel to the Northwest Territories because it has many attractions to offer and is very beautiful.